This is a defining moment. We are not merely looking at a geopolitical stalemate, but a full-scale fracturing of the existing world order. If we strip away the peripheral noise of modern politics and look at the singular existential threat that dominates our collective future, it is this: the escalating specter of a global conflict originating in the Middle East, specifically between the United States and the Islamic Republic of Iran. While many leaders offer fragmented strategies and diplomatic platitudes, one voice has re-emerged with a characteristic bluntness that is both captivating his supporters and terrifying his adversaries. That voice is Donald Trump, and his central trending declaration has become the defining hook of this entire narrative. "I will stop the Third World War before it starts." This is not a modest claim. It is not a subtle shift in foreign policy. It is a bold, historical marker designed to reset the parameters of the discussion. When Donald Trump makes this statement, he is doing something very specific in the minds of his global audience. He is positioning himself as the only individual capable of projecting enough American strength to deter a catastrophic, multi-front war that experts agree is closer now than it has been at any point since the Cold War. But what does it mean to stop a third world war before it starts? In Trump's world, it is not achieved through delicate diplomacy, protracted treaties, or the kind of multilateral cooperation that has characterized the Biden-Harris administration. For Trump, the architecture of peace is built on the foundation of maximum pressure. This doctrine, which defined his first term, is now being presented not just as a tool for sanctions, but as the master key to global stability. To understand how he intends to implement this ultimatum, we must dismantle the components of his recent statements and analyze the trending reactions that are sweeping across geopolitical circles, financial markets, and military think tanks. Trump's recent speech, delivered to a raucous crowd, wasn't just a political rallying cry. It was a foreign policy manifesto delivered with the urgency of a high-speed train. He described a world on fire and in flames. He didn't just criticize the current U.S. leadership, he declared that their perceived weakness has created a power vacuum, which Iran, Russia, and China are eagerly filling. His claim that Iran was broke during his administration is the critical anchor for his entire argument. This assertion, which is heavily debated but factually rooted in the severe economic strangulation his sanctions achieved, is the cornerstone of his narrative. When he says Iran was broke, he means they lacked the liquid assets to fund their network of regional proxies. In his view, the recent audacious attacks by Hamas, Hezbollah's increased drone capabilities, the Houthi rebels' disruption of global shipping in the Red Sea, and the direct ballistic missile exchanges between Iran and Israel are all symptoms of one flaw in American foreign policy: the loosening of economic sanctions. Trump's logic is devastatingly simple to his audience. If you give Iran money, they buy missiles. If you cut off the money, they can't afford the war. This is the simple input-output model that he believes can solve the complex, multi-layered problems of the Middle East. This narrative is trending because it provides a clear, decisive action plan in a world that feels increasingly paralyzed by nuance. To stop the war, Trump is proposing an immediate, draconian, total financial embargo on the Iranian regime. This isn't just a restart of the previous maximum pressure campaign. He is signaling a version that is more severe, more total, and more rapidly implemented. His 10-day ultimatum, linked to a 15-point peace proposal, is a clear signal that he is not interested in the long, drawn-out negotiations that have characterized diplomatic efforts to revive the JCPOA nuclear deal. He is offering a binary choice to the Iranian leadership: either complete capitulation on nuclear ambitions and regional proxy funding, or total economic annihilation. This ultimatum is designed to project strength, but its implications are vast. The financial markets are already reacting to the potential return of this policy. Oil prices, which have been volatile due to the conflict, would likely spike as the world anticipates the complete removal of Iranian crude from the market. This creates a fascinating tension for Trump himself. While his base supports strength, they also hate high inflation.
How does he balance the need for high-impact sanctions with the potential domestic fallout of $5 gasoline? This is the central conflict of his economic nationalism. His answer, often vague but effective in political rallies, is always America first. He suggests he will conquer or manage the situation through a combination of increased domestic oil production and forceful energy deals with other allies, leveraging American military power as an economic shield. But the most audacious part of this trending narrative is not the sanctions themselves, but the promise that this policy will stop a global war. Critics, including many national security experts and historians, argue that Trump's approach might do exactly the opposite. They warn that cornering a sophisticated state like Iran, stripping it of all economic hope, humiliating its leadership on the world stage, and threatening its vital energy infrastructure is a strategy guaranteed to trigger a desperate, catastrophic response. They worry that a cornered Iran, seeing its economy implode and its regional influence evaporate, would choose to go out in a blaze of glory, launching everything it has at Israel, American bases in the Gulf, and the vital global oil infrastructure. This is the central dilemma of our time. Is strength a form of deterrence or a catalyst for conflict? Trump's entire political identity is bet on the former. He believes the only language his adversaries understand is the language of overwhelming, non-negotiable force. The very phrase, "I will stop World War III," is a clever rhetorical device because it subtly frames the current state of the world as already being on the brink. By defining the problem as an impending world war, he justifies extreme solutions that would otherwise be seen as reckless. If the alternative is the apocalypse, then complete economic warfare seems like a moderate and sensible approach. This rhetoric is also heavily targeted at the existing international order, specifically NATO and America's European allies. In his trending statements, Trump has not hidden his frustration. He accuses Europe of doing nothing, while America and Israel carry the entire burden of defending the free world against an expansive Iranian threat. This is another classic Trumpian theme, the complaint that America is being taken advantage of. It's a powerful tool in domestic politics, connecting a complex foreign policy crisis directly to the pocketbooks of his voters. It frames the defense of the Middle East not as a strategic imperative, but an expensive service that America is providing for free to its wealthy, lazy allies. This brings us to one of the most remarkable and viral aspects of his new plan, the proposal for an American Iron Dome. This idea, borrowed directly from Israel's highly effective missile defense system, is not a minor suggestion. It is a fundamental realignment of how America views its place in the world. For decades, American defense strategy was based on power projection, the ability to deploy forces anywhere on the planet to confront a threat. An American Iron Dome shifts the focus from power projection to impregnable defense. It is an admission that the age of unipolar American dominance is over, and that the continental America itself is now vulnerable. This idea of an American fortress, a nation encased in a defensive shield, is the ultimate expression of America first. It tells the American people that while the world may burn, the castle itself will remain safe. The trending nature of this Iron Dome for USA statement cannot be understated. It connects the anxiety over foreign wars to the fear of a direct attack on American soil. It is a brilliant piece of political positioning, making Trump the defender of the homeland rather than just the architect of a new military strategy. It provides a simple physical manifestation of safety that resonates deeply with an electorate tired of endless foreign entanglements that never seem to make the country safer. The image of a protective dome over America is a powerful, reassuring, and ultimately election-winning symbol. But the world outside that potential dome is reacting with increasing desperation. The 10-day ultimatum has electrified diplomatic channels across the Middle East. The proposal, reportedly funneled through Pakistan, is seen as the last possible chance to de-escalate the conflict before it spirals into a direct state-on-state confrontation. Analysts are poring over the 15 points, looking for areas of compromise, but the core demand is non-negotiable. Iran must permanently end its uranium enrichment and its state-sponsored funding of groups like Hamas and Hezbollah. This is essentially a demand for Iran to surrender its entire revolutionary identity, its core ideological and geopolitical reason for existence. The Iranian response has been characteristically defiant. State media, the voice of the regime, has denounced the ultimatum as nuclear blackmail and has warned of a harsh, unimaginable retaliation if their energy sector is attacked. This is not idle chatter. Iran has spent decades preparing for this exact scenario. Their military doctrine is based on asymmetrical warfare. They know they cannot win a conventional head-to-head battle with the United States. Their strategy is to inflict unacceptable pain on America and its allies through coordinated proxy attacks, missile strikes on civilian targets, and the complete disruption of global energy supplies through the Strait of Hormuz. This is the true danger that Trump's ultimatum sets in motion. It's a game of chicken played with nuclear weapons, cyber warfare, and the global economy. Both sides are completely convinced of their righteousness of their positions and are deeply committed to their